What is up, everyone? Welcome back. So before we get started, I want to say, if you guys like the video, if you enjoy the content here, please stab that like button and that subscribe button. If you're interested in all-encompassing knife-related content, we do cut test, knife reviews, sharpening videos, how-to videos. We do a little bit of everything around here. So if you guys enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. And for all of you guys out there who have already done so and continuously interact with the channel, thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. And let's get into this. So this is the Urban EDC F5.5 exclusive collaboration with Jesper Voxnaes, and this is only available through urbanedcsupply.com. They are still available from what I understand. They were yesterday at least. We'll leave a link in the description if I remember. If you guys are interested in picking this up, they are $275. So yeah, if I remember, I'll leave a link for you guys in the description. So this is about a 7-inch knife in overall length. Elmax sheep's foot style blade with a titanium liner lock and a carbon fiber handle with titanium hardware and titanium accents all over. That with that sort of bead blast finish on there really contrasts well, in my opinion, with the carbon fiber scales and that gorgeous satin finished very wide blade. So before we get started, I want to show you guys something with this. So a lot of you are probably wondering, is this knife worth the money? Should you buy this? Is it worth the price that you pay? And I want to show you something real quick. So look inside of here at these liners, these beautiful sort of bead blasted titanium liners, and you can see Urban EDC's logo right there, the little clock bomb thing that they use as their logo. But I want you to focus on the very edge of the liners, and you can see that they've been chamfered all the way around those liners on both of them. So they've been milled all the way around, and they're inside of the carbon fiber scales. And yeah, so they've milled, chamfered the liners all the way around. And the reason I wanted to show you guys that is because that's what you're paying for. Okay, with this, you know, there's a lot of nice knives out there like the Paramilitary 2 that you can get for $150. And I imagine a lot of people wonder, what am I getting extra if I pay that much money? What's the difference between, you know, a nice Paramilitary 2 and this knife right here? That's your difference. Of course, you're getting, you know, a really good blade steel. You're probably going to get a pivot running on bearings. You're probably going to get some carbon fiber or some titanium or a little bit of both and maybe some other stuff. But for the most part, what you're getting is a really high level of attention to detail and quality. That's what you get when you buy a knife like this. So if you're asking me whether or not this knife is worth it, I would say yes. I think that this is a beautiful design. I think the execution and the attention to detail, the fit and finish is pretty flawless on this. So absolutely, I think it's worth the price. So if you just came for that, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Go ahead and pick it up if you're interested in this design. They've done a really, really good job with it from what I can tell. So this knife is made in China. I know a lot of people are against that and won't buy a knife that's made in China, but this one definitely is. And I was sort of concerned about it at first because I don't know exactly where it's made at in China. And you know, China has sort of a hit or miss reputation for quality. So some places you get a really, really good knife, other places not so much. But generally you can say if you're buying a knife that's made in China that costs this much money, it's going to be done really, really well. And this one absolutely is. And that was apparent as soon as I pulled it out of the box and out of the pouch. So this does come with a nice microfiber lined pouch and the little white box that you see here, and a sticker and a couple cards that say thank you, etc., etc. But the most important thing, obviously, is the knife. So this is a design that's based off of Jesper's custom knife, the F5. And the inspiration for both the designs, I believe, is of a sailor's knife. So you guys know sailor's knives normally have sort of a tip like this that's nice and blunted, because, you know, if you're working on a ship or any kind of boat, it's wet, it's slippery, there's inflatable life rafts, inflatable vest that you could potentially stab a hole into, and that would be tragic, as well as you could stab a hole in yourself slipping on a boat. So generally a lot of sailor's knives have blades with tips really blunted out like this one is. So that's sort of the inspiration behind this design, and it's an absolutely beautiful knife from what I can tell. You know, every once in a while a knife comes along that I see that really grabs my attention and makes me think, oh my goodness, that is absolutely gorgeous. And that's the way that I felt about this one when I first saw it a few weeks ago on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere. And, you know, I saw the titanium version and the micarta versions, and I really wanted to pick up that titanium version, and I procrastinated too long and missed it, and I was really disappointed. So when I saw that they came out with this one, I immediately decided that I was going to go ahead and pick it up to at least try it out, and I'm really glad that I did. So let's talk about the design for a minute, and then we'll try to keep this, I don't know, under 10 minutes. So modified sheep's foot L-Max blade with a beautiful satin finish, ground really thin behind the edge, about 13 thousandths, but a very thick blade stock coming in at 157 thousandths or 4 millimeters. Got some jimping on the spine there that really works well, grabs your thumb pretty good. A slot cut into the blade to use to open the knife, and the action is very good on this. The detent's very strong, the blade fires out there hard regardless of which way that you open it. So definitely like a strong detent on a knife, and they did a good job with this one. So you can see the slots chamfered really well, so it's not sharp at all. It's not gonna cut your finger or anything. And God, that finish on the blade just gets me every time I look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Forward finger choil, which is a little small if I'm honest. I don't have very large hands, but definitely this one's a little small. I've poked my finger a couple times on that edge right there. So if you got large hands, this one might not be for you, but nonetheless, yeah, something I thought that I would mention. And then moving on from the blade, looking at this beautiful carbon fiber handle. Seems to be of pretty high quality. I don't see any pits or voids in it anywhere. Nice large chamfer all the way around that I really like. Just a beautiful design on this handle. Sort of got that cutout that matches the slot in the blade. Got a couple little cutouts around the body screws there that look really cool, and large chamfer down here in that finger choil. You can see the weave and the carbon fiber all the way around. Just a beautiful handle. And then got a titanium backspacer here that looks to be machined to perfection. Chamfered all the way around as well. Some jimping on the top there. Generous size lanyard hole that's been countersunk on both sides. Looks really good. And then you've got a titanium deep carry right hand tip up only pocket clip that looks really good as well. Super deep carry. Nice retention on it, but not overly strong. Holds it in the pocket really well, but it does stick out from the scale a good bit, so it does sort of create a little bit of a hot spot in the hand, if I'm honest. So I think it does stick out just a little bit too far, at least for my liking. And then T8 pivot screw. This nice large pivot is flush with the top of the scale. T8 body screws and T8 pocket clip screws. These are nested inside of the scales, and these stick up a little bit above the pocket clip. And then the titanium liner's got the same sort of bead blast finish on there, and they look really good, but they're not relieved for weight, but they are nested inside of the scales and look really good. If we look at the lockup here, got a pretty early lockup, so you got a lot of room for it to move over. But I could definitely see a case for making the lockup a little bit later at least, but nonetheless, at least you got a lot of room for it to wear over time. And lock bar there, the access to the lock bar is very limited on this, so I sort of had a hard time closing it initially when I went to disengage the lock. So I could definitely see a case for cutting that out a little bit more. You sort of have to angle your thumb in there and use your fingernail to disengage the lock bar. But yeah, nonetheless, the action is really good. The detent is pretty strong. The action is very smooth. Just a little bit of a shimmy and the blade falls closed and it fires out hard. The ergonomics are fantastic and just a beautiful looking little design that I'm extremely pleased with out of the box. So I think that's good enough for now. My initial impressions, I really like this so far out of the box. It seems to be a very high quality and a really good design from what I can tell. And I'm really excited to have this in the pocket and to get to use it. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, found it useful, all that good jazz. Let me know what you think of this knife, and let me know what you think of LMAX in the comments below, because I'm interested in using the steel and trying it out and sharpening it. And we may do a cut test on this just to see how it performs, because I've never had any LMAX before. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you soon.